ID, please.
Yo. Heard a lot of shit through the grapevine, might seem soft, but I'll play nice. I ain't even started just.
Anyways, welcome back, guys, to another episode of Let's Talk French. This week, I'm with Joelle. Before we get into it, don't forget to like, follow, share, and subscribe. We've already kind of spoken about this before, but we've never actually spoken about it properly.
Yeah, I told her not to tell me the topic until I was here.
So with this living in London, obviously you've been here all your life. So would you, when you have kids and that, do you think you would raise your kids in London, or do you think you would move out, and why?
Nah, I can't imagine myself living outside London. I can't lie.
Why not?
Only because I don't know. London's got everything there. To me, I know it's a bad mindset to have. I've had it since I was little, but to me, every outside of London is farms.
No, it is true. Especially when I go to uni as well. I deep it as well.
When I'm up in Oxford for uni, there's what's it called? Everything there. So say cool. Obviously, I'm not in Oxford, but my sisters go to Oxford. Cool. In Oxford,
crazy.
there's no what's it called? There's no shop where there was what's it called? See, when you're going to a motor or something, you want to go grab a Maggie or Ray's or something like that. Them not have none. There's no Maggie or Ray's in the shop.
All.
Them not linked wine.
Yeah.
For the parties, these are drinking wine and that. I'm trying to drink it. Obviously, it's not that in everywhere else. You go Midlands, cool, you can grab your Maggie and whatever. But even that, I don't know. Cool. I wouldn't say I feel safe in thing.
Not in London.
Yeah, not in London as well. I don't know. I feel like everyone outside London is a bit racist.
I think for me, I went, obviously I still go Kent in Canterbury. Canterbury is so white. It's jokes. I'm not saying it's completely white, but we're the ones that make up the when you're in City Centre, is the black ones are from ends. We don't really live here in it. If you do live here, it's kind of rare. And even you see how in London, where I'm from, in Heath, it's just loud. It's very loud. So I don't feel the type of way leaving my house at midnight.
Where I go uni is loud. But you know what it is? It's loud, but I don't know. You see how you said there's just white people where you were. I go uni somewhere in the Midlands, innit? And it's there.
Why are you not?
I'm not saying that.
Why are you not stating me?
Because I'm just a uni student. It's so cool. Where it is there's there's black people there, but it's not where it's black people there and you see them mixing proper with the white people there and whatever. It's the black people and the white people. But it's I don't know how to explain it. The white people look like the hooligans that you see, the Euros and whatever. You see that man moving mad.
Tapped.
Yeah, they look tapped. I've seen, you'll go there. I think the first time I went there, I remember, obviously I was on the main road at first because I was just in accommodations. But when I started going back roads and whatever, I'm just going around, I'm seeing England flags in the thing. These times there was no football or nothing like that. So it's you know when you see the England flag in the thing and you're there thinking, there's some people in there that don't want to see me. Did you not want to see me? But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't really feel comfy as well. But also when I was in uni, I was working I was doing one of those warehouse jobs as well in uni, and then I was speaking to this guy. I think he was from Wolves. I think it was Wolves or Wolverhampton, one of those places or whatever. And he was, the way I saw him, he was tapped. Cool. Cool. I grew up in Tottenham, innit? So where in Tottenham, he was asking me where I grew up and whatever. And cool, I told him I grew up in Tottenham now, whatever. And this guy was so excited at the fact that he met someone that grew up in Tottenham. And then he was he started asking me about all of the, what's it called? All the guy. This guy is basically a dictionary for all the, what's it called?
So basically, he's so intrigued. Do you know about this, that?
I think there's one person I went to my primary school. I'm not saying anything, but he, what's it called? I must have mentioned, he went to my primary school when he brought him up, and I was he was like, oh my god, that's so exciting. Whatever. He started telling me about name on roads, all these other things, tell me more stuff that I know, and he's not even from London. He lives 2 hours from London,
Yeah,
but
ooh.
you're there trying to like tell me everything about in ends. Like to me, I was thinking people outside of London are kind of tapped, like not tapped. Obviously, I know it's
I
not
feel like
everyone, but it's like,
that we live it and like we're from here innit. I feel like because it's just like normal to us. To them, it's like oh my
it's
days.
proper
But
exciting.
to us, it's
Like,
like
they don't see that type of stuff. Well, no, I'm not saying I'm not speak for like what happens everywhere else, but I feel like I don't see or like experience or around that type of stuff. So everything they hear is just mad exciting. Me growing up in my head, like I don't know how to explain it. Like this, the way like I'll look at me and my friends. None of us are like road or nothing like that, but like we're like we're self-aware with what's going on around
Yeah, you
us,
have
like
to,
who's
yeah.
around you. Like that's normal for like everyone. Like that's like growing up in London, wherever in London you are, and it's like I can't imagine growing up. If I feel like if I didn't grow up in London, I'd like look at London. I don't say that I'm not a Jew to be looking at it bad, but like, but like I feel I'll be thinking for us if I didn't grow up like here or like grow up around knowing these people around me or whatever, would I be like looking at like
would you
life
be
like
mad
how him?
yeah,
Would I
true.
be mad excited about all these other things and whatever? But,
Even like in general, because I remember like in my first year of uni, like we was living like in a comm. It was like 10 of us in it,
Yeah.
and out of the 10, there was only one of a black girl in it, and she was from like Peckham. That was already calm. She was from Peckham, I'm Heath, cool. But them lot were all white, but like they weren't from like London. They were from out, so it was like there was certain stuff that we would talk about, and not saying that it's sad yet, but you know, like they generally don't understand or they don't know certain
don't
stuff.
understand
Like
any
for
of it.
example. I think in nowhere like in one day I came to the kitchen in 3 hairstyles. Like I came down the kitchen.
in one day.
Yeah, I had my wig on, cane rose, afro.
Yeah.
And she was so like, oh my god. I'm just like, yeah, like this is
Trying to
like,
touch it and that.
yeah, but you know what it's in me? Yeah, I can't even get vexed because it's like imagine going to a school and everyone's just like
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
as you. You don't actually like obviously not like it's not like they actually can't help it.
Nah,
that's why I don't move mad towards
even you
them.
saying that. I remember when someone told me one time about people that went to all boys schools and all girls schools, and they were like, when they first like went to like college or something like that, they didn't know how to act around the opposite sex. Like, a lot of people wouldn't admit it as well.
Yeah.
But some people, like, if you've grown up in that, if you've gone straight to all boys school, whatever, that's actually you've grown around all around boys. If you didn't like socialize with schools around you or something like that, or have like female friends going to all boys school, then you'd probably think, oh, like when you meet a girl now, you probably wouldn't even know how to chat to her properly. I'm not talking about moving, like just in
general,
like,
because you're not always around. I feel like that's why I'm lucky, because even though I went to a girls' school first, I ended up I went to a mixed school as well. But even in my girls' school, like obviously I was like, you see, I don't know if you had this as well in North here. I was in Heath, yeah, I live in Heath, and we had like a park called Melford Park, and like every day, everyone was just chilling there. So it was like by force. No matter where you went, you just knew how to like interact with each other.
I was just.
What was you?
I was at school and go home literally.
Nah, mate, I was
moving
out from a young mate.
What?
But at the same time, like you can't even, like I said about the whole like people that are from London, it's not really their fault.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because like they're so like even like I feel like even like back to this like the start about where we live in that, it's a weird one because London's so expensive, but at the same time, I'm so used to it. Like, I like how quick London is. Like London, other countries like not countries. I'm tweaking. Cities like you see, like in Kent, yeah. In Canterbury, innit? Like if you miss like one train, you're not waiting like 5 minutes. There's no like underground. There's no. You're waiting like half an hour, 40. Well, like but that's why in Canterbury I'm always walking or I'm in a cab, because in here if I miss a bus I can walk bus up there in like
Literally,
2 minutes.
we was talking about it, like you know how like how much we take TFL for granted.
100%.
You go to like Birms or any of these other places up north and whatever. There's no tube. There's no underground. Like we can get from north to south on the map. It don't look too far, whatever.
Victoria Line got you
but
there.
that's
Victoria,
quick.
I mean,
I can get from north to south in like less than an hour.
You can get from Brixton. I'm there like Brixton to like Seven Sisters, like 20 30 minutes.
And that.
Yeah, it's like less than like I think the whole line, I might be wrong, it's less than 40 minutes.
Bro.
Because Houston is 15 minutes.
When I was thinking about it by myself, obviously I'm not saying it out loud, but like I was there thinking like, is this like time traveling? That's what I was thinking about. Like it's so quick. Like you can get around so quick. Even buses, like cool buses. Everyone will cuss buses as well, but buses are so convenient, and it's like cool. People look at a bus on a bus time. I remember when I was on buses or whatever, I used to get a bus time. I used to see 10 minutes or like 7 minutes. I used to get frustrated. I just be like, oh, it's so long.
Just walk in
It's
the
so
bus stop.
long. In Midlands, I think it's like every like 20 minutes or something
You're
like
good,
that as
boy.
well. Like,
You're good.
nah.
But I was even in Kent.
Nah.
If you miss like a certain bus, just walk because it's not coming. Like it's certain buses where like it comes. Like, I think like twice in an hour, and I'm not even joking.
Even cabs. I remember in uni, like when you're taking cabs everywhere, you're there like it's not really too deep. You spend like £2-3 or whatever. I remember I went from spending £2-3 in uni going cabs. I came back to Ends and I wanted to book a cab. I saw like to get from my house to like I live in Enfield and Enfield to Tottenham is not too far. I remember seeing it and it said like £17 or something like that.
And with the Tottenham,
And I was like, what's going on? Like, and I'm deep. We're in London now. Like the prices are just different. I was speaking to someone as well when I was at work. Now I was just speaking to this random customer, and he was talking to me about. He asked me if I got uni and whatever. I was telling him yeah, and he was just talking to me about how he wants to like buy a house or whatever, but you can't buy a house in he couldn't buy a house in London because of the prices of London. Like it was like I think a 2 or 3 bedroom house would be like I think it's 600. It could be like 600k or 500k for a house. Like the prices are stupid in London.
then you look outside of London and it's like wow.
Yeah.
Even yesterday I was with Alex and yesterday and we saw this house in Sheffield, and the house was humongous, and it was like the price that it was. Yeah, it was
It'll be
a
like
similar price to
400 or like 300.
but it's worth it. Like it had everything. Do you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Prices are way better outside, but at the same time, like London, in my eyes, London is the place to be. Like I can't imagine living outside. Even when you meet people in uni, and have you ever met someone that doesn't live in London from your uni, and then like when they've told you that they're not from London, you kind of click to be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's why.
That's what I'm like. But I'm like that in general. I'm like, oh yeah, you're not from thingy there, so it makes sense. It's like, yeah, but you're not really from here.
Yeah,
That's how I am.
that's how I see it. I know everyone's got
Even
the
like,
same thing,
even like me, yeah. This isn't really a thing, but I have like a South radar, so I can tell who's like from. Like I don't know, I just get the vibe that when I miss someone, like yeah, you're not from South.
but I can tell now, only from uni. In my uni, there was
like,
there.
Someone will do certain stuff. I'm like,
from
yeah, he did it, but he's not from. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I can tell you're not from thingy.
Yeah, that's
It's alright there. Like, it's not your fault. Like, it's alright.
so like a little part. It's alright. I would expect it.
No, but like I feel like even that all being said, yeah, in terms of my kids, like, cause I'm not gonna lie, growing up, I've always lived in the South, innit? But you see with South, yeah, South's weird because like there's places in South that you wouldn't even think are in South, and they're still in South, and the proper calm places. Like you got places like, cool, I'm saying nice places with like Orpington, Bromley, or like Purley.
Names to me.
They're like deep, they're like kind of far south, but they're a calm south. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I don't think I'd want to bring my kids up in Heath, because I've lived in Heath, Brixton, Croydon, Norbury, and it's like where I've lived. Yeah, obviously I'm still calm now, but it's like something that I've witnessed and I've gone through, and that I really want to put my kids through that as well.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I was gonna say when I was growing up, I'd say I'd say I'd want to grow like bring my kids up.
Yeah.
Where in Tottenham, where I was growing up, cool. I miss living in Tottenham, everything like that. I think I only moved out of it like 4 years ago, whatever. But
What was you in Coddy? Was you in Enfield or Tottenham?
I just moved to Enfield.
Oh, so it was recent.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what I'm saying. So what's it called? When I think I was growing up, I loved living there. Like I had my friends around me. That's like that was proper. Like knock on my door, bring out the BMXs in the park. I had the park right next to me. Whatever. Like I genuinely loved growing up there. But like now, I'm pretty sure it's everywhere else. Like with like how it is like on road, whatever. Like you'll just hear about things happening, or like you'll even see like stuff that's so local to you, like going on. Everyone's like going on bad now and everything like that. Like I wouldn't want my kids to like grow up trying to like be bad as well. Like I'd want my friends to grow up like I want my kids, to grow up like how my friends are, like how me and my friends are. This thing where like I said, like even you like you know what's happening around you, but you know not to like put yourself in that situation, whatever. And I feel like now growing up, like whether you are like if it's north or like south or whatever, I feel like it's easy to like get mixed in with wrong people. And even like I don't know, trying to like prove yourself as being bad for any other reason. I don't want my kids to grow up thinking that, but I still want them to like be aware, like I said, knowing like what it is and what's not. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
That's why I was saying that I want to keep them in London, because like in
Yeah.
London you still know what's happening, but like you're not front line, but you're aware though. Do you know what I mean? Like with my little brother, for example, obviously he does football and that. It's like, don't get me wrong, he's not, even though he's younger than me, I know he's not stupid. Like he's very much aware, but he just knows, cool, I want to do football and I want to do my things. Let me just not do that, and we will make sure that he's not doing that. But the reason why it's scary, because it's like any minute now,
It's so easy.
Let's take that one thing to
It's
just get
so
into.
easy.
Do you know what I mean? But even, I don't know, because like even when I, again, back in uni, like in first year, like in first year, innit? This is how like I was close to one of my girls, Emma, innit? Because you experience certain things, and it's like, it's kind of sad, but I'm kind of numb to a lot of things. Like this might sound tapped, yeah, and like no disrespect, but like, how can I say this? I think in the most polite way ever. Like, you know, when certain people die, it's not like, wow, this person just died. Like I've gotten so
exactly
used to like some of my friends that, like, you know, the one that I've got some of my friends that have actually died. Some of my friends are in like all this, like I'm not even like, it's not like all my days that I don't even, it's not a bad thing, but it's like
you're not surprised.
It's not a surprise anymore.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like that's with social media and whatever. I think my mom tried to show me a video or something mad happened in where we used to live, in it.
Yeah.
And then like she was so shocked at the fact that I was just watching it, and I was just like, you know, it's like social media is like, it's desensitized everyone as well. Like, do you know how like there's pages out there that show what's called, like you see them UK drilling pages, all these other type of thing, like they actually show violence and all these other things going on, and people grow up seeing that so much as well. It's like, when you see it, it's just any other post, like, oh, that happened again, but
it's just whatever.
Yeah,
this
like,
person got.
cool, that happened. Oh, that person's in there. All right, what did I expect to happen? Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you remember when we was in Collie? Like, I'm not even gonna get into it, but when I was in Collie and like, I told you that, oh yeah, like my ex is the one that died. It was
yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna. It wasn't like a mad. You know the ones that it wasn't like everyone that talks about it. It's nothing a mad shock. Like, it's just, like I say, it's not a good
it's not. Obviously, you don't wish that on anyone, but it's like,
I don't like the fact that.
Like, raw.
I don't like the fact that, 'cause when I told my uni friend, I was like, yeah, like I've lost, and they're just like, wow, I'm just like, yeah, like this is normal to me. Like, it's not like it's a good thing. I'm not saying that like, yeah, like I know people that are in jail and dead, but it's like, I don't want my kids to be as numb. I don't
want my kids to look at like someone like I said, you'll see someone. I've seen videos of like a madness happen or something like that, and there'll be a thing where like I could actually watch it now with a straight face, like it wouldn't faze me. I don't want my kids to like be that numb to it, or like feel like that's normal.
Scared about, oh my gosh, don't be like, yes, whatever.
Have that bit of fear towards it, like you don't want to be. Even when I was growing up, when I was in primary school, I used to be scared of walking home by myself. And if you knew how close my house was to my primary school, like you wouldn't even understand. I had older friends that was all around me or whatever, but if I weren't with like the oldest, then I'd be scared walking back by myself. Now it's like, I'll walk home. I wouldn't even think about being scared walking home. But now, obviously, I don't live like in the same area or nothing like that. But it's like, I want my kids to like have that fear. I don't want them to be scared. I don't want them growing up scared. But I want them to be able to like have that fear of like take your safety like seriously. Like be serious. Something can happen. You don't be numb to all these things happening around you. Stuff actually happens.
Because like, do you know what it is? It shouldn't really be normal. Like what's happening, like we're used to it, but it shouldn't actually be normal. Even
the thing, I was speaking to one of my you see all the things about the vans going around and trying to like take kids and whatever. I remember what's called, I was telling my friend about it. I was like, oh yeah, you know what happened near us? I was like, apparently something happened. He was like, oh, is it? And then we just changed the topic, and I was like,
just
when I was deep in, it's like, bro, like
this is actually peak.
This is actually peak. Like if I had a little sister or like my younger relatives or something like that, and it happened to them, like I'd be so like paranoid seeing every 100%. Van or whatever. But when it's not like, that's what I'm saying, you're like desensitized it. But now it's like, all right, that's happening, bro. I'll keep an eye out. But like,
it's not like
you kind of push to the back of your head, like you're not panicked about it. It's like the only way I could describe it is that the corona stuff. It's like at the beginning when everyone was like bare like cautious
Moving
about corona
mad.
and everything like that, and now like no one's there. Like no one really cares about it. Corona's like
It's just
cold
there,
now.
like,
It's
you
just,
know it's there, but it's like
yeah,
you care, you care.
that's
if you don't, you don't.
that's what it's like with the whole fear aspect of it.
So even if that, yeah, obviously this is before I even asked this. Like, you see how like when I came college with you lot, and I was
Yeah.
like to you how like this is the when I came college, that was like probably the first time I've been around so many people that aren't black. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like, but I say that, and then uni was even worse because obviously like I always say to you that when I was in primary and both my secondary schools, everyone's black. Heath is like all my neighbors. I've got 2 white neighbors,
Yeah.
and everyone's black. I've got 1 Asian, but do you know what I mean? I don't really like Heath is very like Caribbean, and I'm not really like used to. I'm not saying used to, but obviously, but so that being said, yeah, and obviously I turned out great. I see some people say that they want to bring up their kids in white neighborhoods. Me personally,
Nah.
I'm not on that. Innit? I want my kids to. I don't believe in that. Innit? I don't want my kids to like. You know how there's
I don't believe. Like obviously, I know it's a thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I kind of like try to make my think that there's not actually a thing called white neighborhoods. Like I get. Obviously, there's gonna be like in the nicer areas,
Yeah.
it's gonna be like bare white people. But like, I think where I live now, like I said, like I moved out of thing now. I live in a nice
area.
yeah, I live in a nice area now. So it's like when I go out, there's a lot of white people around me,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a thing where there's still black people. Like I've noticed that in the past like 4 years, there's more black people in my area now and whatever. And it's a thing where when I'm going around, like, cool, even though I don't know them, you still doing that, acknowledging that I can know them.
Yeah.
In ends, in ends, like, feel like if you're watching someone else, even if it's like a friendly thing, it's just watching face now. But if you're in like a white area, that's the nice thing. If you're in a white area, then cool, like you nodding at someone, whatever, like this acknowledged. But also that I feel like if I didn't grow up in like not a white area or nothing like that, then it wouldn't like be a thing. Like me going outside, like I've seen, you know, when like you have like a black person, but you know they didn't really grow up around black people, like you know they're like, yeah. I want to say the word, but yeah, you know what I'm thinking about.
What the Oreos?
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah,
C
yeah,
word.
could.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't want to
I
say
think
it, but
you say
yeah.
cunt. You say coon.
Why?
It says C word.
Yeah, coon. That's what I mean.
That's how I was like, it's not cunt, is it? It's coon.
Nah, no. No, that's such a violent
Word.
like not razor, but what's it called? Swear word to call someone like
You know,
cunt.
I told you that I was in school one time, and where was I? I said it. I think I said it one time. No, it was Collie. You know, Gotcha.
Yeah.
I said it once. I was like, "Oh yeah, you can't," and then she told me back. She was like, "In there, you can't say that." And I was like, "I'm in school." I was saying
You know the swear word that it's not really a swear word, but that makes
It's
you like
serious.
it's bastard. Like for someone to call you a bastard, like I'm
not nice. That one there.
That one makes you laugh. But yeah, what was you saying?
You was talking about.
So cool. If there's been times where I've passed, like I remember when I first moved into the area, there would be like cool. There was still black people around me, but like when I spoke to them, they weren't like they weren't like me. If that makes sense, like they were just moist. I felt like I was speaking to like a white person.
Yeah.
Like these are would talk. They wouldn't like eat cultural or nothing like that or like be around it. It's just different. But I feel like you kind of need to like grow up in a black area in order to like have that type of culture. And then cool, moving out is great. But obviously that being said, when you're out, you like it's cool me. I'm not gonna like grow up saying, oh, I want to live in ends, whatever.
Yeah.
So obviously me not wanting to live in ends, why would I want to bring my kids up in ends? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
100%.
But yeah, it's just sticky. Like you want them to have all the morals and whatever and be like switched on, but you can't force them to be around those people. And then even if you do force them to be around that a negative like I don't know, any negativity or whatever that will kind of like shape a person, then you're gambling with them if they're gonna like turn out bad or something like that. So
But at the same time,
know.
you can kind of say, even if you don't live in a certain area, like even like the school has an impact. Because like for example, like how can I word this? You can live in like in any area, but when you go to school, you're still gonna be around like certain individuals. You know what I'm trying to say? Like you can still like there's some like when you deep it, yeah. There's my school's even shut down now, innit? But regardless, some people that they're literally in school. some people I went to school with, some of them are bums, some of them are doing fantastic, some of them do it. It's like I was saying, so to an extent, yeah, you can't really fight it. Like it's not. It's actually a gamble. I'll be real.
My sister said to me one time, I remember this was years ago, but like we've always said it now. Like when we talk about our primary school and our school that we went to, she described it as grammar schools and gangsters. Because after primary, you had some of us that went to great schools. You had some of us that went to that went on roads and whatever. But like we all started off in the same place. You know what I say? Cool.
Yeah.
Like obviously you got your own home lives and whatever, so it turns out different. But like you can't really control it. Like it's actually like a gamble sometimes.
It is.
Of like when you're in your school and who you're around, even your different groups in school or whatever. I'm happy. But like in both my schools, I think I was around positive people, regardless. So it's like, yeah, like my school, like I said, the school it can create like those grammar schools and gangsters. Literally,
I feel like a school that is like. Obviously, everyone can think for themselves. It's so easy to get drawn on. Like I know so many of my male friends I was in school. Them not have so much potential, but it's like wow, we actually went to school together, innit? And like some of you lot are actually just obviously you can't compare them. I bet you know what I'm trying to say. It's like it's actually. I'm not saying that it's a choice. Obviously, I can't relate. Like I'm not in that person's shoes in a bit. It's like it's so. Like what we say, it just takes something that small and everything can just change. I was
speaking to my boys about it again. Like there was someone. We were just talking about this person, and he was smart, but he's in jail now. But when I say he was smart, like he got into a college that I didn't get into. I applied for it, I didn't get into it. But he got into it, but obviously he chose road life instead. He's in jail now. But it's like
pain.
You couldn't like it's not a thing where you're gonna do like what you want regardless of like how you're like if you're going on the right path. It's so easy to like go on the wrong path as well. Like I don't blame anyone that's on road. Any of my friends in road, I don't blame them for being on road or whatever. That's just how they turned out. Obviously, I won't promote it. But yeah, like it's sad seeing like when you see like a live or see a wasted potential, whether it's through sports or knowledge or something like that. Like it's sad seeing it, but it's not really surprised. Like when it happens, like I said, I'm desensitized by it. Like if they turn out like that, it's like alright. Like there's so many people that turn out like that. Like
I think the sports ones hurt me more.
Yeah,
I know so many people that used to be like so sick, but it's like. But again, you know what it is? You can't even always say it's their fault because I feel like. Because like for example like with like my little brother like my parents and my sister or like if I'm not training,
you don't on him
but
as
on
well.
him and like he's never missed a session if he's going on tour like everyone's there and this that. I feel like little stuff like obviously I can't speak already up like for example like let's say you want to play football like cool, you say you got a son and he's good at football but you're not taking them training or he's late to training and missing this and that. Eventually you'd be like, oh, if they don't care, why should I care? And now it's like you literally could have this. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna lie, there's certain people that I'm not saying that no one deserves to blow, but it's like there's people that I know that could have been clear, but it's like no one's even helped.
My mom always tells me how she wishes that she forced me to keep playing football when I was little. Like when I say this was like primary school times or something like that. Like I was playing for this football club, and then I was doing trials at Arsenal when I was like Macaulay's age, innit? And then is Macaulay still in primary school?
No, Max, how? 13, he's 13 now.
I think I was younger than him or whatever, and I was doing like some trials at like Arsenal or whatever, or Tottenham, I can't remember which one it was. And then my mum, I just stopped going. I told my dad, I just can't be asked to go training or whatever. And my dad wasn't on me. He just said, all right. And now that I'm growing up and I'm just there like, why didn't you not force me to play? Like, why didn't you not just force me to go and like, do you take a sports option? Because it's not like I was bad at it, like I was good and whatever. And my mum always said, yeah, she should have forced me to keep going with it. But
at the same time, it's kind of like, it's a good and bad thing. It's a good thing because at the same time, as a parent, I don't think you want to be forcing kids to do anything. Especially if
they're literally telling you, I don't want to do it or I can't be asked. I won't force them. But yeah, I wish they forced me. As you said, like, I do wish they forced me, but you can't. How are they meant to know what they should have forced me to do and what they should, like, obviously cool parents, like they'd know best, but yeah, like I said, you can't, I'm not gonna they wouldn't have known a couple years down the line, like 10 years down the line, I'm gonna be saying, why didn't you force me to play or something like that?
You're happy anyways.
Exactly. I don't mind. I like school as much as school and like work is annoying or whatever. Like I genuinely like don't mind education. That Yeah, I'm in it.
No, because like sometimes like I wish that my parents, you know, like back now I was just doing what I wanted to do in it. Like I know with me it's weird. 'Cause I've always done athletics, yeah, but I've never done it properly. Like I've done athletics, but I've always just like, and I kind of wish that my parents just made me do athletics. But now that I'm starting to see progress, I'm like, bro, like imagine I was,
the progress you could. That's what I was saying.
you know
Like
what I mean?
for me doing that, like I was younger than Macaulay, like trying to like do football, and then I just stopped. Like I'll just be like, imagine me now. Like I could be baller. I could be a baller. No, I don't even play football. Like I barely play football now. Like I was thinking, nah, man.
I mean, it is what I mean. At the end of the day, like it's what, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're still happy. Like I'm happy
saying,
that I
yeah.
didn't, because I still got to like for example, I feel like if I took athletics mass seriously, I would have experienced bare stuff back in the day. Like I would have experienced a lot of things, because like some athletes as well, not like in a rude way, but like some athletes from a mad young age, yeah. How can I say? Like all they've ever known is just athletics, innit? So like they don't actually, they're not really aware. They're not really that social. It's just training, school.
Yeah.
But at least my parents let me like have a lovely child. Like I mean, I'm still young now, but like have your childhood, have fun, do this, do that. You can still train. Like athletics, I'm young in athletics. Like, I'm 20. Like I'm not even.
Yeah.
So,
Even
know
though
what
I didn't like play football or do football, I was so sporty. Like with all the other sports, I was doing so many like extracurricular sports and whatever. I even done swimming. I went youth games for swimming. I went youth games. Like
you can actually swim.
Yeah, like, I was even a lifeguard. Remember? Like,
Oh yeah,
I was a lifeguard. Yeah, like I even started doing swimming because I remember my mom even told me, because I didn't. She made me. Let me quit on football. She didn't let me quit when I was doing swimming, and because she didn't let me quit on it. Like I said, I went youth games and whatever. Like, I competed properly on TV. Like for swimming, it's not the most. I was kind of embarrassed, but I was kind of embarrassed that it was for swimming. But at the same time, like if I could like go and represent London and Haringey and properly like do it, like I could have like, who knows what I could have gone on further to do if I kept swimming or whatever. And even now that I don't swim, I haven't swum in years, but even then I took the skills that I learned from swimming and got a job as a lifeguard as well. I think that was my first ever job as a lifeguard, and it paid nicely. I wasn't even doing nothing. Literally.
Oh my days.
But yeah, that everything happens for a reason. That's how I see it.
I definitely agree. 100%. I feel like even that being said, I don't know. I feel like you and I basically on the same page. Like, well, I think we're on the same page. My thing is, I'm trying to stay on London, isn't it? Like, obviously, maybe like when I stay in London,
I don't feel like I would have experienced any of that if I wasn't in London as well. Like that's actually like your childhood.
And I want my kids to also, because I don't want my kids to be like, you know what it is. I want you to know who you are as well. I mean, like, know who you are. Know what's happening around you. Like, you don't have to be like that, but just know what's happening. Because don't get me wrong, don't get twisted. I've got some friends that are like just doing their thing, but I still got my love for the minute, and I'm happy that I know them. Cause as well, like it kind of shows you, even though I've picked my route, I'm very much aware of how life could have been in it. Do you know what I mean? I'm cool with that. My thing is, my summary is, I am going to live in London. Unless I go clear and I live. So I'm not gonna lie, I slightly want to live in Monaco because I speak French in it. I want to go Monaco.
I want to live in London, but I want a place in the Caribbean. That's what I said. Like I want to live like my grandparents, where it's the fact where they're going back and forth from Caribbean like for months, living there. Yeah. Like and that whole life's like a holiday. Do you get it? Like I just love it. And it's like the house there is nice. All these other things they've worked and. Yeah, like they're just chilling. I don't know. I like it. Man, growing up in London, it shapes you. That's how I feel. Obviously, I can't say growing up outside of London doesn't shape people, because I've never experienced growing up outside of London. You
even reminded me before I even wrap this up. Like, do you know what else? I'm glad that I lived in London and I went to school in Ends as well, because the level of, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen everywhere else in it, but like. One of my girls went to school in Essex, innit? And she was like, the way them not used to be racist and that. Like, I already told you, no one's actually said to my face. Growing up
around, I feel like if you grow up in a school like with white people around racism, like I feel like it will actually like not make you tapped, but it's like you'll look at your own people weird. You see, I said like you grow up around like a coon or something. Yeah. Like, I feel like that's what makes you want. If you've grown up like just being around hate, you don't even like you won't
Because
rub
with
yourself
us,
in.
yeah,
That's
like
what I
I'm
think.
showing you, like when I was in secondary school, I think there was probably 5 people that are white. And the way, like, how can you lot be white? You lot are the minority in school. Like, they couldn't even, do you know what I mean? Like, if they were going to you, the whole school's even on you. So, like, I've always been used to that, my area. So it's like, that's what I'm happy with as well. Like, 'cause I'm not gonna lie, I don't need even if like when I work in like corporate stuff and that, I'm gonna be around different people. That's calm, but it's like I'm not gonna force my kid to be like go to school where it's like probably gonna have people like racist there to get them ready when it's like, no, I don't want to ruin their childhood. I want them to still have a childhood.
I'd actually say like I grew up around like people that was raised like my secondary school had a lot of white people in
But
it.
they're racist to you, and the N word.
It was never like outly going racist, but you know when like there'll be like sly things like I don't know, like you see, I won't name. I'm not gonna do name drops, but like say when they'll be like, oh yeah, come, you're black, you'll do this or whatever, like you're far. Like I remember the what's it called, the coach for football. I think before we was even doing the trials, obviously we played for the year above us. You know, first straight away, like I think he saw us all black and whatever. He just put us on the team, and then after we did our tryouts, but we was already basically on the team for it. Even in athletics, like we was just doing everything that. Like the more I think about it, like it was just subtle racism, but at the same time, we had like the people in my school, like the black people in school, like they were my friends. Like obviously we was all together. Like it was a thing where we all grew up like we're not in our areas, even though we weren't the same area. We grew up in our own areas. Like we was all like I said that when you brought up, you're all cultured or whatever. You know what's what in it. If that wasn't the case, that I'm not gonna like there weren't like coons in my school or nothing like that. But the ones that weren't, like, it was, we knew what it was like. Even when them not would like move that type of way, like we'd know like whatever. Do you know what I'm trying to say? That if it weren't that, then cool. I could have probably embraced it if I grew up different. Like I would just be like, yeah, that's true. Look at my big lips. Like trying to say, like, I don't know, like, yeah, that's a big factor that I didn't even think about. Just
What, the school thing?
Yeah, the school thing. Like if you're growing up around people that's racist or whatever, and I can only imagine outside of London it being 10 times worse.
Oh, 100%.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I like about. Don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, London is mad expensive, and there's all these traffic, and it's this and that. But
you're paying for something extra. That's how I see it. No, like that's actually how I'm gonna go around. Looking at you're paying for something extra. I'm paying to like have my kids that grow up in London around like the culture. Cool. I'm not saying there's no racism in London. Never I say that.
There's
but
racism is everywhere.
I feel like it's way less than it would be like out of ends, man. Like, yeah, definitely.
Nah, literally. Well,
definitely, especially uni times. Nah.
Well, you write this up for me. You want to say
Nina with the Nina. That's what I always say.
It feels like I'm in the studio. It feels like I'm in the fire in the beach.
Literally, I feel like I'm just about to like drop the maddest bars.
Do you want to do it for me?
Thank
nice
you guys.
eye contact.
Thank you guys for that. Tuning in again. Let's Talk French. Your host Inez. I'm guest Joel. Hopefully, I will be back. I won't say when. I'm gonna be back. Watch all the other episodes, especially the ones that I'm in. Look out for the new ones coming. Like, comment, subscribe. It's gonna be out on all the audios as well. I think at Spotify,
Apple Anchor, Google Podcast.
Enough of them.
Everything.
But yeah.
So yeah, thank you guys.